obviously we got a great challenge this week. As you all know, Houston's got the #1 offense in America. It's amazing what a great quarterback will do to your offense. He's been there 6 years. They had all the skill kids they had this year, along with 4 offensive linemen, and they won 5 games a year ago. You plug Case Keenum into that offense, now they're 6-0, the #1 in the conference, and #1 in America total offense, and they're ranked 21st in America. So we've got a great challenge ahead of us. I know Coach Rippon and that defensive staff got to do a great job, and this offense we've got to be good too. We're a great football team. We're going to have a great week, and we'll go down and see what happens.
Have you made a decision about quarterbacks? Or?
You know what? Both of those kids, they bring a lot of positives to us as far as when football game is concerned. So we're going to take this week, and as a staff, we got to take advantage of what both those guys can do, and we'll work hard this week at taking advantage of both of them's talents in practice, and we'll make a decision there prior to the game on which one we'll go with. Both could play.
Is that something that drives defense coordinators crazy when they got to prepare for 2 guys?
I hope so. I mean, it's, we'll see. But like I said, I think the one thing we have to do as a staff is take advantage of what both those kids can do. Put both situations where we can succeed, where we can score some points. And that's what our job is this week.
You mentioned Saturday you're anxious to kind of look back and see how AJ did on tape. How did he kind of evaluate?
I mean, I thought he ran the ball extremely well, and him being able to run the ball like he did opened up some things that Tron and Trayvon were able to do. So it helped our running game, and we got to improve in some areas as far as throwing the football is concerned, and we got to work hard to get that this week.
And obviously, you expect Rice came on the second half, kind of flooded the box a little bit on AJ.
Say it again now.
I mean,
Rice,
yeah.
I thought David and their staff did a good job in the second half adjusting, taking away some of the things that we did well in the first half, and when that happens, we have to be able to adjust better offensively.
Everybody thinks that Houston is high-flying offense, but they can play a little defense too.
I looked at your roster yesterday, and 99 of their players are from the state of Texas. 99 guys on your roster from the state of Texas. Whenever you're located right there, I don't know how many divisions. Houston has a bunch of division kids, and a lot of them go to Houston. And to say they're not talented on defense, it's not true. They got guys on defense that can run. They got athletes in the secondary, and they're very athletic on defense. There's no question. They got athletes run all over the field.
They're also not really a one-dimensional offense either. They can run the ball pretty well.
They do. I mean, they're very similar to you watch them, and I think you look at them stat-wise, they're number 6 in the conference. Rushing the football a year ago. This year they're number 4 in the conference, and so they do run the football, and they tie in. They're more of a, they're going to get you going, get you on your heels throwing the football, and then they'll stick some runs at you. But they do both. They do it well. They got good backs. They got 2 or 3 backs.
You have to guard against playing a team like Houston when you know they have a great offense, of not getting out of what your game plan is, not trying to match them.
As far as defensively,
yeah, and offensively too.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to be careful when you're playing a team like that. You can't be a lot of 3 and outs. I mean, against these guys, we got to hopefully be very similar to what we were against Louisville, as far as we got to be able to run the football a little better. We had no 3 and outs, and our time of possession was, I think, the Louisville was like plus 10 minutes compared to what they had. That's the kind of game you'd like to play against Houston, because if we're sitting over watching, they're not getting yards. That's easier said than done, but that's something that we got to try to do.
Tell about their weapons in particular. I mean, Patrick Edwards, the kid who got hurt here last time he played Marshall. Now he's one of their better players.
Yeah, he's extreme. He's one of the better sprinters and long jumpers from the track guys in the conference. And he's an excellent player. He's come back and he's playing very well. But they got several. I mean, they got 4 or 5 guys.
Then he was talking about yesterday, they got like a 4x1 team as their receiving core. I mean, these guys are pretty quick.
They are. Good skill.
Back to their defense. What did they do best against East Carolina?
I think that they put pressure on that quarterback, and they stopped. They did a nice job stopping the run, and they that secondary again. They're athletic. I mean, they covered those guys. They got after it and played great defense, and forced some turnovers, and they just did a nice job.
What does Case Keenum do best?
He manages the game. He makes great decisions. He's very accurate throwing the ball. And, he gets the ball out of his hand when he has to. I you look at a lot of people that pressure him, and unfortunately he gets it out before you get there, and so he'll make great decisions. He knows exactly where. He's a 6-year guy. He's been in offense for 6 years, unfortunately. And, so he knows where to go with the ball, and he doesn't hurry. He gets it there. So you got to be careful. If you want to blitz him, you better get to him. You better make sure you cover up the hots, because he knows where it goes. He's going to get it out.
Keep Coach get him into third and longs, and that way you got a little more time to rush.
There's no question. You want to try to get that done, and then when you do get him in third and long, you got to get there. You got to go get him. And that's, you're right. If you can get him into some third and longs, you could hopefully get him throw a lot. You get him on the ground tackle, and that's what you got to try to get done. But better if you get in that situation, you go from after him. You better be aware of where their hots are and where they're trying to get the ball and get him on the ground.
You all faced some elite quarterbacks this year already. Is he the best that you faced today?
Yeah, I don't. He's one of the best. I thought Gino West Virginia is also in the category. The guy at Southern Miss is awful good too. So we face some excellent quarterbacks, and he's right up there with. You look at him stat wise, and where he is, he's probably better, or he is better statistically than any of them. And as far as what he's throwing for, is that type of thing. But we face some pretty good ones. He's right up there at the top. To be at the top.
So where were you when you found out he was going to get a 6th year, and what was your first gut reaction?
I thought we were where I was, but I wasn't real happy. No, I mean, I'm happy for the kid. It's all great. But, he is actually good for Houston. Good for us. Kevin, I'm sure was happy.
Doc, I don't know what it's worth, but a lot of your seniors were around in 08 when we beat those guys here and got after them pretty good for some mistakes and whatnot.
I happened to walk by Tyson's, and Tyson Gale was sitting here watching film on his own yesterday, and I thought he was watching North Texas. They played North Texas, the Mean Green, wherever they are, and I thought it was us. He was watching our Marshall, our game from 3 years ago. The same kids. I mean, it was Case Keenum, quarterback. It was the same wideouts. It was the same kids that now been in the system for 4 years, and they're doing the same things. So it gives you an idea of how long those receivers, running backs, and that quarterback has been there. Because you're right, he was a young kid out here playing 3 years ago. It's been going on 4 years. He hadn't changed offensively.
Are they kind of a model to look at? I mean, you mentioned 3 years ago, same kids. You guys have young skill players now. I mean, is that kind of a model, a path to follow? I mean, they kind of took a good step there.
No, they did. I think there's a couple. I think number one, a year ago that team won 5 games. Now the team was not below eligible a year ago without their quarterback, and they had the same skill. And they plugged him in there. Knows how to run the offense. He's been involved in the offense. That offense was different a year ago than it is this year, and they won 5 games. They're 6-0 right now, and it just tells you how valuable a quarterback that's got some experience in that offense is. But yes, to answer your question, sure it helps. I mean, those young kids we got around here now, which it's important that we have those same guys here next year, the following year, because it does help. There's no question.
Is there more pressure on your corners this week to kind of stop that underneath stuff, or you still kind of play that same kind of cushion?
No, I think it's important. We got to mix it up. I mean, we can't against these guys. It's no different than very similar to West Virginia. I mean, you've got to mix it up. But they're going to gain some yards. They're going to complete passes. And when they do, you got to get them on the ground, and you can't give up that big play. And West Virginia, I thought we'd done a pretty good job of doing that, with the exception of the one post route where the one high. We did a pretty nice job of getting those guys on the ground, and they're going to gain yards. They're going to complete some passes, but what you got to do is when you get down in that red zone, that field gets condensed. You got to keep them out of the end zone. And we got to do a great job of doing that. And when we catch it, we got to tackle it. But again, it comes out a little bit like that West Virginia game. We did a good job for West Virginia to stop the run. And if you can do that, you got a chance.
How do you feel about your confidence, coach, as a team? Winning some games, coming back from deficits, and you feel like this group is finally getting a feel of how to win?
Well, I think Keith, that was the one thing that we constantly talk about. Every day is you guys just keep playing hard. I mean, just play as hard as you can play, and don't worry about the scoreboard. At the end of the game, we'll look up and see where we are. And I was reading somebody, I don't know if it was Jason or somebody, texted me or did something to me the other day, and I think we're one team in the country that 7 points or less games, we're 3-0. Games decided by touchdown or less, we're undefeated at that point. It kind of gets that thing across that every game we're in, it's a fight to the end. And if you worry about what the score is, or if you worry about this or that happen, every game we play, we're going to win it, we're going to lose it, we're going to win it, we're going to lose it. The only important thing is at the end we look up and won. That's what happened Saturday. We keep trying, we're getting that across. I think our kids are getting that, because the one thing you can say about those guys is in those games they have played extremely hard. In that game, we punt the ball away at Rice with 3 minutes to go in the game, and we were putting on our defense to win it. Benny Curry found a way to get the fumble. We got the ball. We stuck it in. We won the game. That's all that matters. And that's what the important thing is. And when you can do that, it sure helps reinforce what you're trying to sell as a program, and it helps us.
Comment, just Doc, if you can, on Benny's remarkable performance based on all that happened to him last week.
I don't know if I've ever been around a kid to do what he's done in that week. Not to take one snap in practice and be on the emotional roller coaster he had to be on all week, and come in and make the impact that he made in the game. I mean, not only did he play well, but you don't see 3.5 sacks. Came up with the 1 fumble. He caused a fumble to win the game. I mean, he was so instrumental in us winning that football game that I don't know if I've ever seen a performance like that coming off the situation he had that week. And it was great to see. And you know what, that kid, he deserves everything he gets. I guess somebody texted me, he was just National Player of the Year or something. Some people, not the year, the week, Defensive Player of the Week, and he was Conference Player of the Week, and whatever that kid gets, he sure deserves.
We asked him yesterday, Coach, it's one thing to go out there and think you can do it emotionally and physically, that you're usually drained after that. He somehow summoned the energy.
He did. I tell you, Coach Tate did a nice job with him. Fred Tate's done a great job with D-line all year. The one thing I did was that morning when the plane went to get him, I sent 2 coaches up there on Friday. It was a Friday morning, I think it was. And I sent 2 coaches to go pick him up and spend all day with him. And Fred and Juwan did a great job with that kid during the day, and ride him back and spend all day with him. And you give those 2 guys some credit too, because Benny gets all the credit, but those Fred and Juwan did a hell of a job.
At what point Saturday did you find out that he was playing?
I kind of had an idea he was going to play. I knew, he didn't do the team walk. He wasn't involved in any of that. He didn't want to be. And finally, I know he was getting taped in the locker room.